Hello folks, this is Alan recording another comprehensive draft video. Today we'll be looking back at Guilds of Ravnica, my first electronic set for Magic the Gathering that got me hooked on Limited. I wish I could have recorded more Theros Beyond Death, but I've been working a lot and doing a lot of after work paper drafts. I do understand this format, the Theros Beyond Death, a lot. It's a very fun, deep set. Definitely a lot deeper than Guilds of Ravnica, but yeah, for educational purposes, anyone who wants to learn Guilds of Ravnica, I might as well do it now. And I just spent $5 for these gems, so don't have enough to even do a traditional Theros Beyond Death, but I should have done more when it came out, but I'm stoked on revisiting Guilds of Ravnica. I don't think it's particularly the most balanced since some of the other guilds outweigh the other, but it's still quite flexible. It's still fun, and all the guilds are playable anyways. So don't mind gambling on this and putting a nice comprehensive draft video to so you guys can kind of understand how the draft is set and what my thought processes are. So let's begin. Right, and pack one, pick one. What do we open? How rare? Pretty bad. It's only a card that you want to play in Golgari. Search your mana for a black card with convert mana cost less than or equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Yeah, it takes a bit of work to do, and even then, it's just replaces itself pretty much and doesn't really develop the board. In Limited, you want cards that affect the board state. I mean, value cards are fine, drawing cards is really nice, but usually a 1-for-1 just to get a creature isn't all that great, especially if you need to work for it. So Mausoleum is not a playable card you want to be playing in Limited. Looking at the uncommons, there's Chemistry Insight, which is really powerful. Just a nice instant speed draw spell that you can keep up and play along with your counter spells and other instant speed tricks. And then the Jumpstart is really nice since you can dig through your deck and draw more cards after this is in the graveyard. So definitely a powerful uncommon, a great first pick. Swarm Guild Mage is definitely the weaker of the other Guild Mage, but still a good card if you are already in Golgari. Not something I would splash, but it can be pretty powerful. The life gain is nice, and then giving all your creatures menace can get in for a huge chunk of damage in the late game. Looking at the commons, which ones stand out? There's Sever Strands, which I actually don't mind playing in Dimir as long as I pick up a lot of good sacrifice fodder. Plays best in Golgari, but still find Dimir. Rosemane Centaur is excellent, but again, a card you only want to be playing in Selesnya, not necessarily splashing. So I think overall, in terms of flexibility and power level, the Chemistry Insight just catches my eye. It's single color, doesn't commit us into any two-color combination right away, and it's just by far probably the strongest card in this pack. So easy first pick here. Alright, well, what do we pick up here? Disinformation Campaign is also excellent. Powerful Dimir card that that plays well with Surveil. It's a nice 2-for-1 since you end up drawing a card and the opponent ends up discarding. Dimir tends to be very controlling too, so you can definitely use a card like this, which you can play in the late game to fuel yourself and also make the opponent discard a card. Definitely very powerful. Thought Erasure is also pretty good, but I wouldn't take it over Disinformation Campaign. Pretty nice turn to duress. That Surveils one. Usually in Limited, like hand disruption cards aren't all that amazing since at the end of the day it's just a 1-for-1. But since this has Surveil, it's pretty nice since it can kind of trigger some synergies if you have some creatures that reward you with Surveil. Wouldn't mind taking this 2-drop, but other good cards in this pack. Truefire Captain rewards us for being in Boros. Looking at the commons, there is Direct Current, which is excellent. The double red can be a little bit difficult to cast, but just having this on Jumpstart is nice. And then if you're facing against an aggressive Boros opponent that usually plays lots of 2 and 1 toughness creatures, you can play a nice controlling game by killing their stuff with this. So this is really nice, and Boros is definitely one of the premier archetypes in this set. Then there's Whisper Agent, which is also excellent. plays best in Dimir, but you know it's also quite flexible that you could play this in Izzet or Golgari. Skynet Legionnaire is another card that rewards us with Boros, but given that our first pick is a blue card, I think we want to be in a blue guild. So if we decide to go the Izzet route, there's Direct Current. And if we try to go the Dimir route, there's Disinformation Campaign, Thought Eraser, and Whisper Agent. Between these three, I think it's a Disinformation Campaign just because picking up this one up early will allow us to build around it, and it's definitely a powerful build around, especially when you're already in Dimir. It's not a risky commitment, since if you're going to be in the guild, you might as well play something that's good in the guild. If we want to be more flexible, of course, there's Whisper Agent, which allows us to be in either Izzet or Dimir. But yeah, it's definitely a good card. I definitely would take it over Thought Eraser, but I don't know if I'd take it over Disinformation Campaign. Disinformation campaign, of course, is quite narrow, puts us in Dimir, but I think the power level of this card is just incredibly high, and a lot more, and the value of this card is has a lot more potential than a Whisper Agent, which allows us to be more flexible. Same with the Direct Current. Both of these cards are great, and they're definitely good cards. And you know, picking any of these two can kind of give us options to be open, such as this Direct Current, giving us options to be in Izzet or Boros. Whisper Agent allows us to be Dimir, Izzet, or Golgari, but don't mind kind of just speculating on a more narrow, powerful pick, being Disinformation Campaign. Just a solid card, and we can always pick up like Whisper Agents later, since you know they tend to wheel. Since if there's a lot more powerful cards in the pack, people will rather take them. And Whisper Agent is a good card, but you know, it's easy. It's a fine card to pass up as well. So yeah, let's go high risk, high reward. Commit us to a guild right away, and see if it works out. All right, what do we have here? Well, not that X great. Narcomoeba is not a great card you want to be playing. A 1-mana 1/1 flyer, 2-mana 1/1 flyer is pretty bad. Lawless Giant only rewards us for playing in Golgari, not Dimir. It's not even a card I want to be playing in Dimir, since in Dimir you don't really want to put a bunch of creatures in the graveyard, since they can be very important to help win the game. Looking at the commons, there's a Radical Idea, which is fine. Muse Drake, which is fine. Dimir Guildgate can be pretty nice. Lockets are okay, but they're not as good as in Guilds of Ravnica. Ravnica Allegiance. The best card in this pack are the red cards. There's Direct Current and Command Storm, which are both pretty powerful. I guess since there's not really any good Dimir cards, we can kind of speculate on maybe an Izzet card in case Izzet's open. In that case, we did pass up a Whisper Agent or and a Direct Current. And between these two, I think I prefer the Direct Current. Just because it's cheaper, and the Jumpstart is really nice if you need to discard this to Surveil or another Jumpstart card. Command Storm is a nice curve topper, just as a nice way to deal with a creature in the late game, and it does deal with bigger creatures, but I think just having early Direct Current just to deal with the early game creatures is a lot more important, especially if, again, Boros tends to be one of those premier guild in this set, and you really need to prepare yourself against it. So yeah, don't mind taking direct current here. Speculate on is it being open. Otherwise, none of this stuff is really too exciting for Dimir. So yeah, let's take the direct current here. Right, and in this pack, what do we have? Best cards, there is Flower Flourish, which is only great in Selesnya. And even then, 6 mana, giving +2/+2 of creature is fine, but its creatures don't gain trample, and they can still be blocked and chump blocked. Healer's Hawk is excellent. If we're looking at Dimir, we have a Whisper Agent, which is great. It's also powerful in Izzet as well, so I don't mind taking this up. S also has Surveil, which triggers Disinformation Campaign. If we're looking at Izzet cards, I think I'd just be looking at Izzet Guildgate here. Again, the lockets aren't too important in this set, since most of the creatures tend to be lower cost, and you're not really looking to ramp into something big. So yeah, don't mind taking the Whisper Agent here. It still keeps us open in Izzet or Dimir, but primarily wants us to play it in Dimir, so we'll take it. Here, some pretty decent Izzet and Dimir cards as well. There's a Pass Wall Adept that I do like in Dimir, just to have a decent early game blocker that can serve as a win condition by giving our creatures evasion. There's Radical Idea, which is pretty good in Izzet, since it can kind of feel your instance and sorcery payoffs, and you can also jumpstart this in the later game to cycle. Though I think I prefer these two over the Robot Boar, and then there's Piston Fist Cyclops, which is pretty good in Izzet as well. So let's see. So we kind of have a make an option. Are we going to be in Izzet or Dimir? Obviously, I think with Whisper Agent and Disinformation in campaign, we're looking to be more of a Dimir deck, since Double Blue might be too difficult, a little bit harder to cast in Izzet, and Disinformation campaign is just a better card than Direct Current. So if we want to take a safer choice, there's Passwall Depth, which could set up for an okay controlling Izzet deck. And it's a good card that I do like having one copy of in Dimir. Radical Idea is more of an Izzet card. It can be fine Dimir as well, but not too exciting. You rather have like this. You rather have like a Disdainful Stroke Up. Piston Fist Cyclops wants us to play in Izzet. We do have Chemistry Insight and Direct Current, and it's definitely a pretty strong card. Like, I don't mind passing up the Passwall Depth, to be honest. Like, you can always pick up one later. We can just speculate on a more powerful card, I guess, in case Izzet is more open. Since you don't know, I mean, there's also Dimir Guildgate we could speculate on. I do want to play Dimir more, but at the cost of staying flexible, I think I don't mind taking just the Piston Fist Cyclops here. I think this is just a lot more powerful card than these two. So yeah, let's speculate on it. Right, and we have a Goblin Electromancer Notion Rain to decide from. Okay, and so now, yeah, I guess we have to really make a decision here. So the Izzet cards are these two, and then the Mirror cards. If we're looking to pick up the Goblin Electromancer, obviously we're going to be in Izzet. And looking at our Izzet cards right now, we're looking to be a little bit more controlling. We can still be aggressive with the Piston Fist Cyclops and the early 2-drops from the Goblin Electromancer, of course. But the game plan of it can be Izzet control or Izzet aggro. The mirror is always just control, of course. And which guilds is more powerful. The mirror is obviously the most powerful guild. So I might just take the Notion Rain. Maybe missed out on a Passwall Depth that we can always pick up later. I definitely prefer Dimir with the Disinformation campaign, to be honest. So yeah, both of these cards are pretty good, but yeah, well, I guess we did miss out on the Passwall, but again, we can pick up one later, and this is just a lot more powerful. So let's take the Notion Rain. I think seeing Notion Rain late shows that Dimir is also open as well as Izzet, and now we can pick up our Passwall Depth. That's great, and also Wishcoin Crab is a pretty nice blocker that you can use in a controlling deck. But rather have my first copy of Passwall Depth just to have ensure a good 2-drop blocker. Could just take a Golgari Guildgate for fixing. There's Izzet Guild Locket if we're looking to play Rampant Izzet, but again, most of those creatures and cards in this set aren't too expensive. I mean, it's a nice late game card that allows you to draw 2 cards as well. But we could just take the Guildgate in case we want to splash green. In case we open up like Statue of Vraska, it can be pretty nice. Well, I mean, Locket's still fine. Like, if we do end up in Izzet, like, in a late game, you can draw 2. But we do need to be in a more controlling Izzet deck that's looking to ramp and keep up instant speed stuff. Which, it seems like we can. With this Chemistry's Insight, Whisper Agent, Passwall Depth, and Piston Fist, we could be a more controlling Izzet deck, which is looking to ramp. So, yeah, I don't mind speculating on Izzet Locket. And either way, we could maybe even end up splashing red. Who knows? So we don't really need to fixate ourselves in the Golgari Guildgate. So I think I'll take the Izzet Locket here. And nothing here for us. Pretty bad pack. I think I'll just take a Gateway Plaza in case we want to do some do some other shenanigans here. Could take a Bars and Bats as a decent one of that can serve as an okay win condition. Not a big fan of Wall Miss since most of the you can get enough 3 toughness blockers in this set, and also the 1 power can be really relevant to block off 1 power creatures. Or I can just take Radical Idea as a cheap cantrip in case I end up Izzet. And it's possible again we could just end up in Izzet, and we have and Radical Idea is just a really nice. It's just a really necessary common since we're looking to jumpstart a lot. So maybe I'd just take it. Barsing Bad is not even that exciting, so. We'll take Radical Idea. And another Radical Idea, sure. I mean, I might even end up playing it in Dimir. Who knows? Nothing here. Already have a Locket. Alright, looking at our first pack, we have an option to either be in Dimir or Is It. I definitely prefer the Dimir cards. I don't think I passed up too much from our Dimir. We did take a Piston Fist Cyclops over the Pass Wall Adept, and that's pretty much it. I still took the Notion Rain over the Goblin Electromancer, and the Direct Current was just obviously the better card in the pack compared to like the Radical Idea and the Muse Drake. So I mean, we could still be in Is It, believe it or not, or Dimir. But overall, pretty interesting start to a draft. Let's move on. Right, and looking at this pack, what do we have? Again, nothing too exciting. The best cards are like this Amara that I wouldn't mind first picking here. So we're kind of looking at the blue and red cards. There is a Wojak Bodyguard, which plays best in Boros. If we're looking to pick up the Wojak Bodyguard, we have to commit to an aggressive Is It deck. Which I don't know if I want to, since in aggro Is It you do need lots of early 2-drops to use this to mentor onto. Right now our Is It cards are stacked at 3, and we could still be aggressive, of course, but I think I might just pick up, I don't know, Muse Drake perhaps, just as a fine blocker that replaces itself. It's fine Is It, it's fine in Dimir, and it's fine Golgari, but it's a pretty awful pack for us, I think. And even in Is It and Dimir, we should have enough 3-drops right now that we don't really need a Spinal Centipede to play. So yeah, speculating the Muse Drake isn't bad, but overall, not a very exciting pack. Here, Beam Splitter Mage is one of those all-in cards that you want to be playing in an aggro Is It deck. Of course, picking up a bunch of instants and sorcery spells that target Beam Splitter Mage is a bit of a build around and a bit of a work to commit to. There's Disdainful Stroke, which I don't mind taking up early. Can be fine in the controlling Is It deck, and pretty good in the Dimir, obviously, because it's controlling. I don't think I want to go in with the Beam Splitter Mage since we don't really have any cards that we want to that we have right now that pairs well with it to pump it, and also I don't want to end up just prioritizing those pump spells in this set, so don't mind a Disdainful Stroke. Here, do like myself a Deadweight as an excellent removal spell. Otherwise, what we're looking at, probably the Sinister Sabotage, but really can't pass it as a Deadweight, just a really efficient removal spell at 1 mana that plays well against the Boros deck. So I think we're going to be looking like a controlling Dimir deck from the composition that I'm looking at. We did miss out on Boros and Bats, but that's fine. They're kind of replaceable anyways. Just seeing this dead drop being late shows that Dimir might just be more open than Is It. And we don't really need to be flexible at this point. Okay, no great Is It cards either. I guess Dazzling Lights I don't mind. Can be fine. Trigger Surveil, 1 mana is pretty cheap, and you can pretty much get a good block, especially if you have like Darkblade Agent, which has Death Touch, so I think I'll take it. Ooh, Nightville Predator. Okay, so we're definitely moving into Dimir. Seeing such a powerful card late in the pack shows that Dimir is obviously the more open guild, so happy to see this. Just a powerful uncommon, great win condition, the hexproof is nice, the death touch and flying makes it very hard to deal with. Otherwise, we'd probably be looking at a Leapfrog, which plays better in Is It, but we're definitely going Dimir now, seeing that this is really late, so great 4-drop, let's take it. And a Capture Spirit, I don't mind. I already have a Notion Rain. Notion Rain can get pretty bad in multiples due to the fact that their Boros is a premier archetype in this set, and they can deal lots of damage. And having 2 of these can be very clunky, especially if you're losing life from it. And Dimir is looking to be very controlling, of course. So you definitely want to stabilize your life total. So if we kind of move check out our curve. We don't really have too many creatures, only 4 creatures. Would love a Wishbone Crab, but I think the Capture Sphere is much more important to just have a solid ground removal spell. Obviously worse in Is It since it doesn't feel the instants and sorceries, but it's still pretty solid. Is really solid in Dimir. There's Hypothesis still late in the pack that we could consider splashing, but I think overall having a Capture Sphere is much more useful than getting our first Witch Coin Crab, so we'll take it here. Ooh, Thoughtbound Phantasm, that's a nice reward. Dimir is definitely late, open in this draft, and we didn't miss out on anything too important in Pack 1 Pick 1. We missed out on a couple bars and bats, and that's pretty much it. Our 4s are still looking good either way. With Chemistry Insight, we want to cast on 4, of course. Capture Spirit, we don't know. Notion Rain's being cast on 3, same with Disinformation Campaign. Probably Radical ID on 2 as well. And then the rest of these we can always cast later. So yeah, Thoughtbound Phantasm is excellent. Especially if you have a lot of Surveil, you can grow this really large. It's also a good blocker on the ground the early game that you can play. So definitely looking to pick that up here. So yep. Alright, here I do like myself a Unexplained Disappearance. One Disdainful Stroke is usually nice in the Dimir deck since it's quite situational and you can only deal with expensive stuff. Where you have Radical Idea, just having a nice interaction spell that allows you to surveil one is nice, and also if the opponent has a removal spell, you can save a creature or remove it from a removal-based enchantment. So I do like having Unexplained Disappearance. I think this card is very good. And now we have a choice between Bars and Bats and Spinal Centipede. Could use some early cards to trade off, which we don't currently have too much. Our 3s are looking good, but there's not too many 3-drop creatures. So I obviously need to move the interaction spells over on the other side, and this is kind of like our real creature curve. It's good to have, we already have 2 4-drops that we can play. Obviously, Bars and Bat hits harder, but the 1 toughness can be a bit of a liability, especially since it can die to early removal. And I don't mind a Bars and Bats, of course, but I think it's much more important just to have a Spinal Centipede, a fine creature that can trade off in the early game and maybe beat down. And also when it dies, it can maybe give one of our flyers a counter, so I think I prefer the Spinal Centipede. Now I guess I can take a Bars and Bats over like Wall of Mist. I mean, I don't hate Wall of Mist. I don't hate playing it, but usually, I mean, there's enough 1/3 blockers in the set that you don't need a 0/5 wall. Could use the Bars and Bats as another flying win condition. The 4s are kind of looking stacked, but overall I could use a 4-drop creature, so that can maybe in the late game kind of help us deal some damage. So I think I'll take the Bars and Bats here. Could end up main decking Mythic Vapors. There's a Selective Snare, which can be great against tokens, but usually not something you want to main deck. Mythic Vapor is better as a sideboard card against Boros. It's only good against Boros since they have lots of 1 toughness creatures, but it's pretty bad against everything else. It's definitely a great sideboard card if you want to play best out of 3, but I don't think I'd take it here. Selective Snare is pretty bad either way. Maybe just take a second Disdainful Stroke just in case, because I could actually see myself main decking too. Okay, maybe take Mythic Vapors. Alright, so the second pack seems decent as well. Even wielded a Wish Coin Crab, which I do like at 4. Even Passwall Debt, we might play second one. Okay, so the second pack went pretty nicely. It shows that Dimir was the open color and guild to be in, so we're definitely in the right guilds. And I don't think we missed out on too much in the first pack for Dimir. Like, we still got our Bars and Bats back, our Wish Coin Crab, a Passwall Adept, so I think we're drafting correctly, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, let's take the Passwall Adept, move on. And wow, we got rewarded. Etrata is definitely excellent. It's a nice blocker and also a fine removal spell in the at 4 mana. Since if it can't be blocked, you can deal damage to an opponent and then exile a creature from them. So that's really nice. And if this exiles if you manage to exile on 3 cards, you just basically win the game. It might take a while to get this going, but it's definitely a very powerful card. However, there's also Watch and a Miss, which I don't know if I might prefer this over the Etrata. Necrotic Wound is also pretty excellent, which, it plays better in Golgari, but, it's also main deckable in Dimir. But usually in Dimir, again, you're looking to protect your creatures, you're not looking to sacrifice them a whole lot, so I think we can say no to Necrotic Wound. Watch and Miss can be a nice 5-drop, I guess, which also triggers Surveil and gives us a win condition in the late game. Atrada is very good, don't get me wrong, and it's definitely very first pickable. However, um, the fact that this needs to be shuffled back into the deck can be a bit of a problem, since let's say it's basically a 4-mana removal spell that deals 3 damage to opponents and just ones for ones at the end of the day. Sure, you can shuffle this and get it back, but you will need to draw through your whole entire deck in order to do so. I mean, I guess we do have Chemistry Insight, Notion Rain, and Radical ID already, so it might be Atrada might have a lot more upside than the Watcher in the Mist. Watcher in the Mist is just a nice curve topper that we can use, trigger Surveil, enters the battlefield right away, and can start swinging in the air. In terms of flying creatures, we only have 2 right now, Bars and Bats and Night Veil, Predator, Endure, and we could definitely use another great flyer. If we're looking to play Atrada, we're looking to be a very slow, grindy, controlling deck, which we're looking to kill a bunch of our creature stuff and then draw towards her. I mean, we do have Chemistry Insight, again, Notion Rain, and a Radical Idea, and also Disinformation Campaign. So it is kind of close. Like, putting Atrada down as a decent blocker is really nice at 4 mana, and then getting this to attack, exiling a creature, and then drawing her back in the later game to replay it can be really nice. But I don't know if we need it. Maybe we can just win through the air. I think I prefer to Watch in the Mist just to have a nice flyer at 5 mana, and we do have a bit of a gap at 5. Our 4s are looking pretty solid here. I mean, Atrada is a fine win condition, but it takes a lot more work to get going. We do have card draw again, but with all this card draw, I think we can maybe just pick the more consistent, reliable card, being Watch in the Mist, and just use the air as a win condition, and then Pass Wall Depths can help the ground creatures get across the finish line. Because I don't really want to spend the whole game just trying to draw Atrada 3 times just to close out the game. I think it might just be better to just take the flyer for now. So, as it might seem, I think I'll take the Watch in the Mist. Atrada is a great card though, but just the fact that she shuffles herself back can be a bit of a liability. Don't think I'm playing Bury the Bones even with Surveil. I think I'll just take a Pitiless Gorgon. Does take double black, and we do need a Guildgate for fixing, but there's nothing else in this pack for us. Burglar Rat I do like as a good 2-drop. Makes play on turn 2, make the opponent discard a card, and then later this can use as a fine chump blocker. We have Dazzling Lights, there's Wall of Mist, I guess, but we have 2 Pass Wall Depths that I don't mind main decking. Veilshade can be a fine late game mana sink, especially with double Pass Wall Depth. But I think we can close out the game with our flyers. But I mean, this is a fine card to have too, just give this unblockable in the late game and then punch in for a whole bunch of damage. It does take a lot of mana to get going, so that's a bit of a liability. So I think I like the Burglar Rat, just a nice 2-drop that can make the opponent discard right away. It can also chump block, we can sacrifice it. It can trade off for 1 toughness, which is pretty decent as well. So I think I like the Burglar Rat over the Veilshade. Could just main deck another Unexplained Disappearance, which is fine. So I think I'll take that over a Golgari Guildgate. There's also Command of Storms, which we can splash, but I think I just want to stick with blue-black. Ooh, Darkblade Agent, that's a nice gift. Also a Dimir format I also do like a lot, just as a great blocker that surveils too, but can't really take it over a Darkblade Agent. Just one of the core uncommons for this 2-color. Also late Pelt Collector, so Golgari seems kind of open as well, but not going to pass up on Darkblade Agent at this point. Bounty of Might, nothing here for us, just take the rare for gems. And another Burglar Rat. Ooh, a Severed Strands. This is kind of close. I think I might take the Severed Strands. How much removal do we have? A Capture Sphere, a Deadweight. So we're kind of lacking removal. We do have interaction with double Unexplained Disappearance, but it might be more important to kill stuff. So we take the Severed Strands. Where are we looking to sack? Maybe a Burglar Rat. We could sacrifice the Muse Drake, which is pretty nice, since this could also replace itself, and also we can also sacrifice Spinal Centipede if we need to. How many creatures do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 creatures, so I can actually see myself main decking one copy of Sever Strands, but a second Burglar Rat is just really nice. It's a nice play on turn 2 that makes the opponent discard a card. I don't know, so I don't know. Sever Strand does take a little bit more work. I'll probably just take a Burglar Rat. I mean, it's just more consistent to play. Could see myself main decking this Devious Cover-Up just to have a nice card in the late game that can shuffle our stuff back. And could take another Spinal Centipede. I think I might just play the Spinal Centipede over the Pitiless Gorgon, since the Pitiless Gorgon might just be harder to cast. Don't think I need double Bars and Bats, since 4 is usually why I consider it expensive, and our 4s are already pretty stacked, so I'll take the second Spinal. Don't think I'm playing Barrier, but I'll take it. Ooh, and Wild Mist Wield, and even Veil Shade. Could cut a Spinal Centipede for Veil Shade, since it plays well with the double Pass Wall Adepts. If we're looking, I think we're going to be looking at 16 or 17 lands in this deck. Of course, I think we might go 17 lands just to have enough stuff to discard for Chemistry Insight. So what cards can we consider cutting? Maybe Dazzling Lights, even though I do like Dazzling Lights with the Surveil going on. Do like one copy of Disdainful Stroke. I think I like Dazzling Lights. Could just cut the Radical Idea, to be honest, since we don't have too much synergy for it. I mean, with all these 2-drops, I don't really think we need a Wall of Mist, to be honest. I think I'll just take a Veil Shade, maybe cut off a Centipede. Veil Shade does require us to pump, but again, it kind of gives us an alternate win condition with the Pass Wall Depths. So yeah, 2 cuts. I think this is 17 lands because, again, I want to discard lands with Chemist's Insight. So what cards are we looking to cut? I think I like the Devious Cover-Up just as a way to shuffle some of our stuff back. This is interesting. I do like the Dot Bound. I don't mind the Dazzling Lights. These are kind of our Surveil cards here. Whisper Agent, Watcher in the Mist. So you definitely could use the Dazzling Lights as an extra Surveil trigger. Could just cut a Spinal Centipede, since I mean, I do have like the Veil Shade to replace it, and our 3s are looking fine. The 2s are looking good. The 1 is looking good. Now I guess we cut a 4-drop perhaps. And what should that be? This is hard. Could just cut the Wishcoin Crab, I guess. I mean, we should have a good enough early blockers that we don't need a Wishcoin Crab. I think we kind of need the Flyers to kind of close out. And the Muse Drake can block profitably too, and it replaces itself. So, maybe Crab can just go. How many creatures do we have though? 14. Yeah, I can see myself playing a low creature count. Since Muse Drake, since we should have enough blockers in the early game, we probably don't need a Wishcoin Crab. Even though this is a fine card in the late game, we have Muse Drake to maybe cantrip. And we could use like Bars and Bats as an extra flying win condition. I mean, maybe the Bars and Bats can go. And just play the Wishcoin Crab. I mean, just play the Wishcoin Crab as a good blocker. I mean, I could use another evasive threat, but Nightbill Predator and Watcher in the Mist, I think that's fine. And also with the double Pass Wall Depth and Veil Shade, that can be fine as well. I don't know. Maybe I could just cut a Pass Wall Depth since I have 2 copies, but it's pretty nice with Veil Shade, and they're pretty good blockers in the early game as well. So this is pretty hard. I think it's just either between Wishcoin Crab and Bars and Bats, to be honest. Since we're looking to be slow and grindy, and we have double Pass Wall Depth, I think it's fine just having the Wishcoin Crab over the Bars and Bats. We're not looking to be hyper aggressive, even though we kind of have Flyers to fly over. So I think this is just kind of our deck here. And the Devious Cover-Up is pretty nice, since it plays well with our Capture Sphere, Chemist's Insight, Whisper Agent, Unexplained Disappearance, Disdainful Stroke, and Dazzling Light. So yeah, we have a bit of instant speed stuff, that this Devious Cover-Up can be a fine card. I mean, I guess we're actually looking to tap out quite often, so I could just cut this Devious Cover-Up for this Bars and Bats. It does help us shuffle in the late game, but I don't. We probably don't need to shuffle stuff back into our library in the late game. Maybe we can just kind of close out with our creatures and flyers and just get there with Unexplained Disappearance. As for tempo plays, I don't know, because our Dimir deck looks kind of tap out, looks like a bit of a tap out deck, where we're not looking to keep mana unless we're in the late game. Since we do want to deploy our creatures and block and attack if need be, and then therefore the other instant speed stuff is fine, but not like a huge priority. So yeah, let's try this. 17-11. So I think 9-8 is good since we kind of need the double Burglar Brats and then the black as well. Don't think I can go 10-7 since the black is pretty high as well. So let's just do this. Because even though I want like a win condition in like the late game, I don't think I need to go that long in the late game that I need something like Devious Cover-Up at 4 mana or Atrata. So this is looking very good. Darkblade Agent and the Whisper Agent has great synergy, and then Spinal Centipede I think I'll keep. And we're on the draw, of course, so Thoughtbound Phantasm, so the opponent's also playing Dimir. Alright, let's deploy. Don't think we need to show him the second color yet, so we'll play another Swamp. I might just play out this Darkblade Agent. Opponent has his own Darkblade Agent. Let's see. Could just play out the Spinal Centipede to maybe go for a trade. I could ambush him with my own Whisper Agent. I don't think the Darkblade Agent is a good play since if he can Surveil, he can give this Death Touch and trade off for it. So I think the Spinal Centipede is fine here. He can trade off for this Darkblade Agent if he decides to attack with it. And I probably will block it. Even though I might miss out on a potential 1-1 counter, I think it's worth it. And this for an Information Campaign is nice for him. He's a draw card, and I'll probably just discard a land at this point. Chemistry Insight. It does play well with the Whisper Agent. I don't hate it. Could just deploy my own Darkblade Agent, of course. Could just play out the Wishcoin Crab. But maybe the Chemistry's Insight is more important to find us answers. I can still keep up the Whisper Agent at instant speed in case he gets rid of my Spinal Centipede. And this can become a 4-3. So that's not bad. Barrier Bones, okay. I think that's fine, and I'm fine just trading off for this 2-3 if he tries to do something. If he removes this Spinal Centipede, I can just flash and Whisper Agent to block. Opponent's probably looking to play his Information Campaign. That's fine. I'll probably just discard a land since okay, he's looking to just play the Wishcoin Crab. That's fine. So I guess the game plan is to win through the air since you have a bunch of ground blockers. So having the Bars and Bats is pretty nice. Ooh, now we can resolve this Night Veil Predator. I think that's great. And I'm fine playing the land out. I'll probably discard the other land if he plays this Information Campaign. No attacks. Yeah, we'll discard the land. That's fine. We can still play a 3-drop and then keep up Disdainful Stroke if need be. Hillis Gorgon, okay. That's fine. So what do we want to do here? We could instant speech the Chemist's Insight discard land, but I think I want to just play a 3-drop here and keep up Disdainful Stroke. I can also just leave up land as well for the Whisper Agent. but there's a chance he might bounce the Disinformation campaign and replay it. So, yeah, I don't mind just playing out the Darkblade Agent to keep up Disdainful Stroke. I could just play out the land. I guess I could just discard the Wishcoin Crab at the end of the day, since it's not even looking good on this board, so I'll play out the island, say go. And if he does replay Disinformation, we'll just discard the Wishcoin Crab. It's pretty bad on this board anyways. We're looking to fly over to win. We're not necessarily looking to win through the ground. And here's an attack with a 2-2. I think that's fine. I can easily block this 2-5, and if he tries something funny, I can Whisper Agent. He could have a Deadweight, I guess, but I think it's still worth blocking here. And I'm leaving the Spinal Centipede to maybe trade off for the 2-3 if he tries something. Could have a Deadweight here. Yeah, he has it. Alright, maybe I should just flash in the Whisper Agent at instant speed to give this Death Touch. We'll just play it anyways. Veil Shade isn't bad, but we do have a flyer already. I mean, I guess I could play it anyways and keep up Disdainful Stroke. So if I top deck a Pass Wall Deb, I can use this as a win condition. I actually don't hate that. And Night Veil Predator is doing an amazing job, just being a great win condition as a flyer. If he plays like Watcher, I'm definitely Disdainful Stroking it. Right, Radical Idea is fine. Barrier Bones, sure. Not something I would main deck 2 copies of in Dimir, since at the end of the day, there's a wall that gums up the ground. It doesn't deal flyers, and if he decides to attack, I think I'll trade off the Spinal Centipede here. And I can discard the Wishcoin Crab if he replays the Disinformation campaign. And I'll probably keep land in hand if he doesn't do anything here. I'm fine trading off this 3-2 for the 2-2. Don't care about the Wishcoin Crab attacking. I think this is fine, just blocking like this, since I'm not looking to win through the ground anyways with all these blockers. I could have blocked here and then used and pumped, but I think it's more important to keep up Disdainful Stroke, perhaps. I mean, he was tapped out, so I took 2 unnecessary damage. Ooh, Pass Wall Depth, okay, combo assembled, so we'll play him here. I think we'll keep a black up. And then I can, I could make her unblockable and get in for 6. It's not a bad idea, but I think I want a Chemist's Insight end of turn, perhaps. To, and then maybe to draw some action. In case he doesn't play anything expensive for the Disdainful Stroke. You can make this into a 5-5, I guess, eventually, and start getting in, but I think I'm winning the race. Fake Vapors, sure. Think I can afford to take 4 from this Stopbound Phantasm. I mean, it's not 5, I guess. It's 3 more counters, I guess, so now I guess it can still attack. I guess if he plays out this Information campaign, I can Chemist's Insight, discarding the Disdainful Stroke, because it's going to die anyways, and I can discard a land to the Disinformation campaign. So this is fine, I'll take 4. It's not the end of the world. I'm still winning the race. Pass Wall Depth can make this unblockable next turn, and I can get in for a whole ton of damage. Do I just Chemist's Insight now? Nah, we'll keep up Disdainful Stroke. I think it's more important. Now we have land, so now what we can do is Guess we can make this unblockable and pump this once, but we'll be shields down on Disdainful Stroke. So I think we're fine just attacking him for 4. Maybe next turn we can kill him with the Veil Shade. Command a Storm. Alright, that deserves a counter. And I can also Chemist's Insight now. He can play... I guess he can just play out this information campaign, that's fine. Do I do this in response? I don't hate it. It helps me dig deeper, and there's a chance that I might top deck something that I don't want. So yeah, I'll Chemist's Insight in response. And I'll probably discard the worst card. Which is a land, obviously. Fine taking 5. I'll definitely block the 2/5 here with the Pass Wall Depth. There's no reason not to. Could have Severed Strands here. Dowser of Lights. Okay, so the opponent's tapped out. It's basically game over, since I can make the Veiled Shade unblockable, and then just get in there for 6. All right. Sweet. So flyers are definitely necessary. Alright, well this isn't bad. We have Night Veil Predator. I think we'll get our blue eventually, and Notion Rain can help us find a Whisper Agent. I think this is a great keep. And we're on the draw, so hopefully we get some 2-drops in case we're playing against a Boros opponent. Black, okay, so another Dimir deck playing Barrier of Bones. I don't get it. I don't understand why this card's so great. I mean, I guess it's fine against Boros, but against another Dimir deck, it doesn't necessarily replace itself, so leave a Swamp. And this Whisper Agent can attack past his Barrier Bones anyways. Ooh, opponent's playing Golgari. Never mind. Don't think I need to keep up Disdainful Stroke. He won't have anything at 4 mana, so I'll hide my secondary color. Generous Stray. I can ambush the Generous Stray next turn with the Whisper Agent. So I actually don't mind just saying go here. And I can fetch a blue land off the top if possible. Opponent falls for the trap. Let's go. Pass Wall Depth. Not really. I think I'm fine discarding it since I already have one in the deck. And I could use another island. Pretty decent ambush as well. I guess next turn I can keep up Disdainful Stroke and Chemist's Insight. So that's not bad. Charno Troll. Oh, that's scary. Guess I can't really attack past that. Begin to upkeep, exile a creature card from graveyard. If you do, put 1 on counter on it. Otherwise, sacrifice it. Okay, so this card is going to be pretty difficult to beat. I might just take 4 here. Could just play out the Spinal Centipede and hopefully double block this. But the opponent will get a nice 2 for 1. Yeah, I don't mind just keeping mana open here. I can afford to take 4. I mean 5, I guess. He might end up keeping mana to discard a creature, so his Charno Troll doesn't die. But I mean, I do need to keep up mana for a counterspell and Chemist's Insight, so taking 5 is bad, but I think it's okay. Alright, opponent just says go. He's probably just going to discard creature end of turn. Ooh, I can deadweight it to slow it down. So what's the play? Could just Spinal Centipede, maybe double block and leave up Disdainful Stroke. I don't hate that. He could have like Deadly Visit that we need to get rid of. Therefore, we shouldn't. Therefore, we shouldn't tap out completely. All right, he sacrificed it. Oops. He should have discarded a creature from his graveyard. So I guess the opponent made a bit of a misplay here. So yeah, it's great. That's okay. Oh, he did on purpose. Well, now we'll just counter it. Might maybe prompt a concession here. We'll see. Guess we'll just Notion Rain this. I mean, I could just Chemist's Insight, to be honest. Maybe we'll do that end of turn. Could play out Night Veil Predator, actually. I did, but that was a bit of a misplay. Got too excited there with the oops emote. Earthfall Trooper, sure. It's not a great card. Same Child of Night. I think we got this, since the opponent is playing low impact cards that we don't care too much about. Could just activate the Deadweight on this guy here, which, you know, is fine. Could just play him, Watcher in the Mist. I will just Deadweight here, I think, and then play out Night Veil Predator. I think that's even better. And we'll attack with both. I don't care if we trade off for a Child of Night. It's not the end of the world. And a giant Rhizome Lurcher that we can always bounce back at instant speed. So I think we're just going to play Notion Rain here. No, actually, let's play out the Veil Shade, since we can attack with it next turn. And keep up instant speed for the Unexplained Disappearance when he attacks. I could have just played it, I guess, and then attacked with both. But I guess I'm so far ahead that I don't even care. I could just chump it, but yeah, I'll just bounce it back. Don't think I need a pass wall, especially if I don't need to keep up all this mana. Let's just deploy the flyers. Ooh, Dazzling Lights, I don't hate that. I think I'll keep that on top. So the Dotbound Phantasm will be a potential 5/5. Alright, easy win. Need to stop getting so cocky so I don't end up making these misplays. So one of the things about Magic players is that you can get very cocky, you think you're going to win, and then you end up making terrible misplays. So gotta be careful of that. Maybe treat every game as though my opponent is serious. Alright, Disinformation Campaign on 3. Just need some 2-drops. We're on the play, so I think this is fine. Top decking a 2-drop will be nice here, but it's fine if we don't. We still have Disinformation Campaign. Ooh. This opponent's playing hyper-aggressive. Hopefully we can't Mentor onto that thing, but I guess I still have Disdainful Unexplained Disappearance if he tries something here. Aggress aggro, is it? Pass Wall Depth, not really scared of that. It's not that great of an attacker. I could play out Veil Shade next turn just to maybe hold off the Torch Courier. Yeah, I don't think I really want to Unexplained a Pass Wall Depth, since I don't think that's going to accomplish much. Could take 2 next turn and just play out the disinformation since this doesn't hit too hard. The Veiled Shade can maybe hold off the 1/1 and the 1/3. I mean, disinformation campaign can be pretty good when the opponent's more empty-handed, but this does ensure that we kind of hit our land drops by cycling it, so yeah, I think I'll just play it. I don't really want to miss out on a turn 4 play if I don't top deck a land, so I think it's worth just drawing a card off of this now. And we missed a land drop, so happy that I played this disinformation campaign, so this allows me to cycle and have a higher opportunity to get there. Wall of Mist, bit of a weird card, especially if we're looking to be aggressive with these 1 and 2 drops. But, I mean, so be it. Here, could just play out a Wishcoin Crab to block the ground creatures and stabilize for a while. Don't see any reason to deadweight anything since most of the cards aren't that significant. He can make the Torch Courier unblockable, but that's going to use up his whole turn. Who cares? Could play something more scarier that I want to bounce back. Bit of a weird play. Okay, he could have a 4-mana removal spell, maybe Hypothesizzle, we'll see. But I'm fine just getting rid of this. Probably Hypothesizzle. Lava Coil, okay, on a Wishcoin Crab, so he 2-for-1'd himself. That's fine. Here, don't really want to trade Bars and Bats. Could just keep up Chemister's Insight and Unexplained Disappearance up. I mean, I could just play it out, who cares? I might just Chemister Insight. Nah, let's keep up mana, maybe represent a counter spell of some sort. Rubble Belt Boar. Alright, we'll see what he targets and we can bounce it back. I mean, it's only 3 damage. It's not the end of the world. It is a bit annoying, though, with all this damage going on. Sure, let's do it. Do we need land on top? Land isn't bad. Ensures that I can curve out, so yeah, we'll just take a land. And I can even play out Disinformation campaign and maybe a 2-drop. So, do I want to do that? Could just play Pass Wall Depth, Veil Shade, and offer double block. Could just deadweight this, to be honest. Deadweight, maybe play a 4-drop. It doesn't kill it though, so we can always double block it. I don't really care. Yeah, let's try it. The deadweight can maybe just kill something with lower toughness, and I might prefer that a lot more. Sure Strike would punish me here though if I decide to double block. There's a consideration to just take 3. The opponent also isn't playing quality cards. They're pretty low impact, to be honest. So I'm not really afraid of them. Maybe just Bars and Bats and Deathweight here, and that's pretty good. Keep land in hand in case of some shenanigans. Could just play a land. I mean, next turn if I top deck another land, I can Chemister's Insight and Disinformation campaign. I think it's fine. We'll play land. Say go. Opponent can start attacking for 3 with this Pass Wall Depth, which can be pretty annoying. So hopefully we find an answer to this. I guess my Pass Wall can also grant my Veil Shade evasion. Don't know why the opponent just passed his turn. Could be holding up a counterspell. But I guess I'll play out my Disinformation campaign anyways into it, since maybe the Darkblade Agent is a lot more important. Probably has a counterspell here. Oh, I guess not. Ooh, Watcher in the Mist. Yeah, we'll just play out the Darkblade Agent attacking for 3. The opponent could have made this unblockable and attacking for 3 as well, while he holds out my ground creatures, so I don't understand why he didn't attack last turn with this Pass Wall Depth. Invent, okay, so he's been saving all his mana to just get 2 cards from his decks. Pretty expensive. He could find a removal spell off the top, which can be quite annoying. Alright, Dazzling Lights and Selective Snare aren't cards I'm too scared of. Ooh, Thoughtbound Phantasm with Watcher looks really nice. I could just trade my Darkblade Agent off, I don't hate it. Don't think I need land, so I'll dump both of these in the graveyard. I think I'm fine trading off the Darkblade Agent. Since I don't really want this to have gain unblockable and have him constantly attack me with it, with this Passwall Adept. Goblin Electromancer, okay, he's probably going to bounce a flyer back or something, it doesn't matter. I think I won. I mean, I guess he can bounce my spirits back to set me a turn off, but I can just replay him. He can select a snare for x equals 2. Yup, knew it. That's fine. We can just play Disinformation Campaign and force him to use up his Dazzling Lights. I guess I'll attack first, because the opponent could just misplay and not use it right now, and he'll forget to discard. Probably use it here. Yeah, I guess the opponent didn't misplay. That's fine. Alright. So I guess here, I think I'm just fine playing out the Thoughtbound Phantasm and resolving this flyer to start getting in. Don't see how I can lose this. Burglar Rat, don't think I need, since the opponent's just going to end up discarding it anyways. Maybe I could just see, I guess I can double spell Disinformation Campaign and Notion Ray next turn, so I don't need an extra land for the Chemister's Insight. Guess the opponent really wants to play Izzets, since his creature quality, card quality isn't that great. Right, could just Notion Rain. Maybe Chemister's Insight is better. I'll attack in the air. Maybe just Chemister's Insight end of turn. I could just do it now since he's all tapped out. And I'm not really representing any instant speed shenanigans, so I could just tap myself out and just play the Chemister's Insight at the end of the day. Next turn is pretty much lethal. I can attack with both, make Veilshade unblockable, and just go for it. Niv Mizzet, okay, that's what he's been saving it for. Ooh, whenever you draw a card, Niv Mizzet deals 1 damage. Well, luckily I don't have any sorceries that I care too much about, so I guess the reason why he decided to play a bad Izzet deck is because of the Niv Mizzet. I guess he can kill my Bars and Bats now. Oh, I can just make Veilshade unblockable, I forgot. And just get in for 8. Yep. Niv Mizzet would have been pretty bonkers if he could play it earlier, but we got there. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, no 2-drops. There's a counterspell I want to play in the late game. I mean, maybe I still keep this, since I'm on the play. This is something you want in the late game. These are kind of clunky at 4. I mean, it can still be keepable. Maybe we draw into something. Yeah, and I don't really want to go down a card, so I think I'll keep. It's not the best opening hand for a Dimir deck, but I don't really want to go down a card, especially if I'm on the play. On the draw, I'd probably keep, but I mean, I probably could afford to mulligan, but on the play, I don't think so. So we just need to hopefully survive till turn 4 and deploy some of our cards here, and maybe just win from there. I mean, I do need to top deck some 2-drops, but it is what it is. So, right, opponent finally chose his hand. Maybe it's not right keeping this. I could be wrong. Because I definitely need 2-drops if I'm playing against Boros. So maybe it was fine, maybe just going down 6 cards. Opponent's playing Selesnya. Ooh, Darkblade Agent, that's looking great, so I guess we weren't punished that badly. A Skyline Scout can fly over, but Darkblade Agent can attack past it. And we also have Dazzling Lights. Ooh, and we can play a 4-drop, so this is looking good. Could attack, and if he tries something funny like block and pump, we can use Dazzling Lights. He decides to attack. Don't think I want to trade since this can gain a lot more value. Taking 3 does suck, but my new Muse Drake can kind of block off this creature. We'll just take 3. Not a big fan of it, but I'll still do it. Alright, a Prey Upon to 2 for 1 himself. Okay. So, the opponent lost value there. He should have just, yeah, he should have just, I mean, it's great that I didn't trade now that I think about it, since he had to use 2 cards to just kill off the Darkblade Agent, so kind of went down on value. But this Rosemane Centaur is annoying. I could bounce it back and then counter it, which isn't a bad idea. Could just take 4 and play out the Watcher in the Mist, and next turn we can do it. I could just play out the Wishcoin Crab, in fact. That's not a bad idea either. But I'll be shields down on counter spells. We'll play the Watcher, take 4. Notion Rain. Do I want a Notion Rain? Well, I think Chemistry and Insight might be better since I don't really want to lose life, so... And this has Jumpstart anyways, so... I think this is fine. Fine taking 4. Next turn we'll just bounce it back and then counter it. Hopefully it doesn't resolve anything scary. Hitchclaw Recluse is annoying. Okay, guess I can't attack past this, so I think we'll just say go. We could just do a double block and use Dazzling Lights. I don't hate that. That's actually pretty reasonable since it's cheap and then we can kill this. Yeah, I'll actually do it. And if he tries something funny, we can also just Unexplained Disappearance or Dazzling Lights this, but this looks pretty good. A second Unexplained Disappearance. It's not a bad card, but I have one already. I think I'll dump it. Since I do need to find better playables to help you close out the game. Rock Charger, I guess I can't counter that, but I can definitely block in the air, so that's not bad. And then I can now Burglar Rat his final card, which is pretty nice. So I think we'll do that. And then we can play out Dotbound Phantasm, keeping up Disdainful Stroke. I think we'll just say go here. So Dimir is definitely looking very powerful. Pass wall depth, that's not bad. That'll allow me to attack with the Watcher in the Mist. Don't think I need a Wish Coin Crab at this point. Could Chemist's Insight end of turn and just draw something, but I think the pass wall depth is a lot more important to resolve. And then next turn I can start activating the pass wall and keep up Disdainful Stroke. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I could just Chemist's Insight, but yeah, I think overall maybe I should just start poking the opponent for 3 with this Watcher. I could Chemist's Insight discarding Wish Coin Crab. That's actually not a bad idea too. Ooh, Disinformation Campaign. I think I like that, and then keep up Disdainful Stroke. Yeah, we'll say go. Could just Unexplain. Yeah, I'll just do it now. Just to maybe get 3 points of damage in and bounce this Disinformation Campaign back. And a Burglar Rat off the top. Do I want it though? Probably have Disinformation Campaign to play anyway, so... Opponent just concedes, he knows that he can't outvalue my deck. Just keep going. Alright, Pass Wall Depth, Veil Shade, Night Veil Predator. Yeah, we're keeping this. And we're on the play too, so that's pretty nice. Fine playing out blue because I know I want to curve out with Pass Wall Depth. I could play a Swamp first in case I want to play Burglar Rat first or something, but I think I prefer Burglar Rat in the later game again since it can discard something more useful than a land. Can actually see Spinal Centipede being better than Veil Shade since when it dies it leaves behind a counter. Veil Shade is of course great if you have a lot of mana to keep up. You can make it unblockable, then pump it and then get in for a whole ton. But that's only great if you're flooding out, I guess. If you're not flooding out, then it's not that great. And given that we have so much card draw in this deck, maybe we just end up cutting this Veil Shade and putting in the Centipede back into the deck. Opponent's AFK, but maybe this is just a free win at the end of the day, who knows. None of our opponents have been too difficult so far. Haven't seen anything too scary. Besides that Niv Mizzet that the guy dropped on 6, but even then his deck wasn't all that great. Yeah, I can see myself cutting this Veil Shade. The Centipede's already at 3 power, you don't need 2 mana to pump it. And I don't think we're going to flood too often with all this card draw going on. And this might just be a free win since the opponent just decides to go AFK. Oh, I guess he's on the play. Alright, so this is looking nice. We can resolve a Pass Wall Adept. And then I wish this was a Spinal Centipede maybe, so it can attack better. Attempt Disregard, okay. Opponent's definitely Boros. Or Selesny, I guess. This is not a great card anyways. Okay, got our 4th land, so we can end up playing the Muse Drake. Who knows? All right, combo the Sembo. So if we manage to play a bunch of lands, we can start getting in this Veil Shade later on. Skyline Scout can start flying over, but luckily we have Muse Drake to block it off, and it also replaces itself too, which is nice. Ooh, could just play Night Veil Predator. Why not? It hits a bit harder. It can still hold off this 2/1 flyer. Do I attack with this 2/2? You'll probably just trade off his 2/2 for it. So I don't think so. And you could have like Righteous Blow kept up. So Skyline Scout can only gain flying when it attacks. If he attacks with a Skyline Scout, it's obviously going to indicate a combat trick. So I think we're fine getting in with the Night Veil Predator here. And then we can play out Spinal Centipede to keep up Disdainful Stroke. I think that's the play. I don't mind attacking this Spinal Centipede. So if I ooh, this is a good counter, so I'll definitely counter that. Definitely gonna attack with a Spinal Centipede and maybe the Spinal Centipede, so I can potentially put a counter on his Night Veil Predator, making it a lot more powerful. So definitely gonna get in here. He should be blocking the 2/2 since the Skyline Scout might be a little bit more valuable, but I guess he doesn't care. Okay. And now we can Muse Drake to draw a card. Do I play out land? Yeah, I think it's fine. Since I can start activating the Pass Wall Adept and start getting in with my ground creatures. I mean, the Veil Shade. Offer to trade with the Spinal Centipede. Alright, destroy all target creatures with power toughness 4 or greater. Nothing is at toughness 4. So, guess the opponent just wanted to show off the card. Alright, so we're on a hot win streak. Currently 5-0. I think I'm going to replace the Veil Shade with the Spinal Centipede now I've seen how bad this Veil Shade can be. Do I still want like a Devious Cover-Up in this deck? It's still quite expensive to keep up, and again, we are playing a long grindy game, but it's not so long that I need to... It's not that incredibly long that I need to shuffle everything back into my deck. So this game... So I can definitely prefer the creatures over the counterspell, to be honest. So yeah, I think we're just going to make this adjustment, add in the Spinal Centipede, and then go from there. Sorry, just doing the creature count again, and we're going to take a look at our curve. So yeah, not bad. It's possible that, again, I could just replace a 4-drop and, you know, play something less, maybe have a Radical Idea, but Radical Idea is just a cantrip at the end of the day. So I think we're good. I think this is as good as we can make it, unless I'm missing out on something. Alright, well, this isn't too bad. We have some defense with Deadweight. Dazzling Lights isn't going to do much, but the turn 3 Disinformation campaign is pretty nice. So, and we're on the draw, so I think it's worth keeping. No creatures, so if we're playing against a Boros opponent, that can be a bit troublesome, so hope we can maybe survive, or maybe put up a good 2-drop blocker with this hand. Alright, opponent's in Selesnya, so Alright, nothing too scary here. Next turn maybe I just end up playing this disinformation campaign. Ooh, Centaur Peacemaker. Well, that gains us life too, so that's fine. And we should have a 4-drop blocker. Here I'm just going to play out disinformation campaign to ensure that I hit a land drop next turn. And I do, so that's nice. Maybe just take 3 from this Centaur Peacemaker. Ooh, Sprouting Renewal. He could have destroyed my disinformation campaign. Don't understand why he discarded that. Blade Instructor. Okay, that's a great deadweight target. Ooh, Nightville Predator though. But I think here I'm just going to deadweight. Since that's going to be a bit of a problem. I could just play out the Wishcoin Crab as a blocker, to be honest. And I don't really need to keep up Disdainful Stroke at this point. So yeah, maybe the Wishcoin Crab is good here. We can hold off the ground creatures. It could be annoying if he has a Pump Trick with Blade Instructor and he gets in and he starts any attacks. But I can kill him next turn, but the 4/4 Centaur Peacemaker is a bit annoying. Okay, Rosemane Centaur to play out. So now what? Could just Notion Rain. Could deadweight the 3/1, I suppose. Could just Muse Drake here and deadweight. I think I like that. Maybe just Muse Drake first. And then we can deadweight this Blade Instructor. And then we can still hold off this 4/4 with this 2/5, which isn't bad. I could probably just double block the 3/3 if he tries something. He could have a Pump Trick or like... But I think I'm willing to double block this just to get out of the way for future turns. If it is a Pump Trick, I guess he can kill the Wishcoin Crab, but that's still like a card out of his hand, I guess. I still have Whisper Agent to maybe ambush. Okay, take Heart, that's fine. Take 4. And I can try something like Whisper Agent into Dazzling Lights next turn. Or Spinal Centipede. I don't hate it. Don't really need to ambush. I think we're just fine saying go. And which one do we use the Dazzling Lights on? Probably on the Rosemane Centaur, since it's a bigger creature. I can potentially just double block and not even use the Dazzling Lights. Unless he tries something here. Yeah, I could just double block. And then I can give a counter to the Muse Drake. Samal Woodshaper, I think I'll counter that. I can let that resolve, to be honest. But it can be a bit annoying if he finds stuff, so yeah, I'll just do it now. Pass Wall Adept. Pass Wall and Notion Rain. I could just Notion Rain, why not? And maybe just play out the Pass Wall Adept. I do need my black source. Darkblade Agent is good, but I think I need a swamp right now. Don't think Darkblade Agent is going to accomplish much on this board, especially with all these 3-drops already. I think I just prefer to hit my swamp source. Ooh, and the swamp is here, so I guess I can just play out my disinformation campaign here. Or play Pass Wall. Yeah, disinformation campaign is good. Just make him discard more. And this should be a hard choice since he's been holding up these 2 cards. Ooh, a Prey Upon. Okay. That's not bad. So there must be something better than a Prey Upon that he's keeping. Okay, Vigorous Spore Worm. I could chump block here. If he attacks... yeah, I'm definitely double blocking the Rosemane Centaur. And fine taking 5. I can lock down the Vigorous Spore Worm with a Capture Sphere. This is a totally fine, reasonable trade. Ooh, no Burglar Rats. So what now? Could keep up Dazzling Lights and just capture Sphere the Vigor Spore Worm. And then play out the Pass Wall Adept. I don't hate that. And then pre-combat we'll just capture Sphere here. Leave up mana for Dazzling Lights. Beast Whisper. Okay, I can't counter that, so that's going to be a potential issue. So now what? Could just play out Night Veil Predator and just attack. I think I'm fine attacking the Spinal Centipede here. And I still have Whisper Agent up. And Dazzling Lights, so that's not too bad. We'll say go. Creature off the top would be pretty bad since he can just go off with the Beast Whisperer. I think I'm going to block and use Dazzling Lights just to have an efficient play. And do I need a Doubt Bomb Phantasm? I think it's going to be a little bit too slow at this point, so I think I'll throw it in the graveyard. And why not? I mean, I could just flash in the Whisper Agent here. Yeah, I think I'll do it. Even though I could draw an extra card off of Disinformation Campaign, I think the game plan is just to get in as much damage as possible at this point. Alright, do I just play out the Burglar Rats? Maybe. I think I'm fine getting in. I could make the Pass Wall Adept unblockable. Yeah, I think I'll do that and get in with everyone. He can get in there for 2, but I don't really care. Drawing a creature is kind of bad since he can just go off with it, I guess. Alright. Sweet. Alright, 6-0. Let's take a dumb photo of this deck. To show how cool we are. Yep, let's take a dumb picture. Yeah, let's just take another dumb picture. And yeah, hopefully we get to 7-0. We'll see. Our opponents have been pretty easy so far, so I'm not surprised we're getting 7 wins. Alright, Burglar Rat on 2 as single land gives us access to Disinformation Campaign and Whisper Agent. I think this is a good keep, especially if we're on the play. But I would need a land off top. It would be pretty terrible if I don't get a 3rd land eventually. And Burglar Rat can trade off for the Hired Poisoner, and I have a 2nd one too. That's pretty nice. Definitely going to play out Disinformation Campaign if I top deck a land, since I need to kind of dig through my deck. And the Wish Coin Crab got discarded. Wow, that's really nice. But the Dimir Spybug, the opponent has one. That's a bit annoying. Ooh, land is good. So now what? I think I'm gonna play out Disinformation Campaign and say go. Leave up the Burglar Rat for the block. Ooh, a 2nd Wish Coin Crab. That's kind of interesting. I don't think I'd ever main deck 2 Wish Coin Crabs. Thought Bound Phantasm, so the opponent's planning to hyper surveil us or something. Could capture sphere. Could Chemist's Insight. I think we'll just say go. See what the opponent plays. Fine taking 1. Unless he has like instant speed surveil. Yeah, 1 isn't bad, and I can Chemist's Insight end of turn anyways. Yeah, let's do it. You could have Disdainful Stroke, that can be pretty annoying. Right? Now what? Could just play out the Burglar Rat. I don't really want to play into 3 open mana. He could have Disdainful Stroke, which can punish me easily. But I guess I have to do it eventually. I could just also Chemistry Insight again end of turn and keep up Capture Sphere and Whisper Agent. I think I'll do that. We'll just say go. You could have the Disdainful Stroke for my my Night Veil Predator, so I think this is fine. And we're just drawing a million cards off the top. Yeah, I think I just play it. He could have it, but I mean, I need to develop the board eventually. He probably has it. Okay, he doesn't. Okay, this second Burglar Rat is looking really good. Just to disrupt his hand even more. And a Capture Sphere. Wow, I guess he's stuck at 4 mana, and we're just making him discard a bunch of expensive cards, so that's really good for us. Next turn I can even Notion Rain or Whisper Agent and replay Disinformation Campaign. Yeah, why not? Ooh, Unexplained Disappearance. Yeah, I think I like that, especially against the Dimir Spybug is pretty good. And I guess now I can just replay it, keep up Dazzling Lights, and see what else the opponent's is discarding. Wow, Deadly Visit, holy crap. Definitely gonna get in there for 3. Opponent's stuck at 3 lands this whole entire game. Wow, that feels bad. But, you know, I would never play double Wishcoin Crab, especially if it's so expensive. Now opponent's gonna surveil for lands, finally. Next turn, I might just Unexplained Disappearance on this Dimir Spybug and just replay out the Disinformation Campaign to make him discard even more. I don't hate that play, since this really sets him back. Don't hate the land off top. Yeah, I'll discard it. I have a swamp already in my hand. Could play out the Bars and Bats. Okay, well the opponent just concedes. He knows that he's not going to win at this point. Okay, a nice 7-0. Going to upload this video into my YouTube channel. I wish I could upload more Theros Beyond Death. But I've been doing too much paper drafts recently in real life. And I'd rather draft that set in paper, to be honest. It feels more fair, balanced, and fun compared to this weird crap that the Arena bots pass up. But Arena is a great way to get started in Magic and learn about the drafts formats. Pack 1, pick 1. Channel Troll is excellent. I think I prefer it over maybe like Conclave Cavalier or Direct Current. It's a bit of a non-bo in Yogari since you don't really want to exile your the creatures in your graveyard. But then again, you know, a 3-mana 4/4 trample is very powerful. I don't know, maybe Conclave Cavalier is close. But, yeah, Challenge Troll, I don't mind trying it out. If it's a pack 1, pick 1. Well, probably just Healer's Hawk, pretty bad pack. And Theros Beyond Death, let's pretend is a pack 1, pick 1. Well, Peripherals is not that excellent in Limited. The reason why is, I mean, giving all your creatures haste is pretty decent if you have enough support. But the 3-mana ability isn't all that great since you end up sacrificing a creature. And then trying to get this to 5 devotion is still a bit of work. And doesn't really have trample. So pack one, pick one. I'd probably go for Commanding Presence. Purphoros can be a bit of a trap. Other good cards are like Underworld Charger. Naya can be great for the flash deck or the blue-black control. So yeah, there you have it. Nice 7-0 victory. So yeah, hopefully you guys can learn from this draft set. And might upload more videos. So until then, have a great day.